to 2023 Lam Family College of Business Pitch Contest. I'm Nara Jung, Assistant Professor of Management at Lam Family College of Business. I'm your host today. Thank you all for joining us today. I want you to know that today's pitch contest is being recorded and will be made available to watch again. So you can turn off your video if you do not want others to find you in the record. Before we begin our pitch contest, I would like to introduce Eugene Sivadas, Dean of Lam Family College of Business, to start us off on this event. Eugene, are you there?
Yes, I am. And I got clicked through a link and I don't see my own name there. So I don't know. So anyway.
Okay.
So anyway, well, I want to thank Professor Jong for putting this together, and more importantly, all the students who worked very hard on this project. Our goal is to create a college which provides students a lot of hands-on experiential learning opportunities. And we've launched a lot of programs to increase student engagement, including Leadership Edge and a couple of mentoring programs that we have launched. And we have recently also created a DEIB lounge in the second floor of the business building that you're all welcome to use. It's great to see the students participating in these programs, because the great thing about entrepreneurship programs is that in addition to being creative and harnessing your creativity, it is very integrative. When we study subjects, we study accounting separately from marketing and from finance and management. An entrepreneurship pitch competition allows you to hone your skills and draw from your training in all these different disciplines. And my hope, my dream is that your ideas may become real one day, that you're able to be your own bosses. And from this rather modest building of our college, you create the next Google and the next Meta and the next Chat GPT, or the next fancy restaurant or next food product, and transform lives in that process and do well for yourself. So congratulations to all of you for taking the time to participate or to attend. And I look forward with great excitement to learning about what you have to show us. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, Eugene. You covered a lot of highlights of this event today. So I would like to briefly talk about the background of this pitch contest. So the purpose of this pitch competition is to foster innovation and entrepreneurship within the Lam Family College of Business. And this pitch contest is open to all Lam Family College of Business students. So this year's theme was sustainability, social entrepreneurship. And we have received applications from both graduate and undergraduate students. And through the review process, we've got 5 finalists today. And these finalists are going to compete for the 3 top prizes. First place will get $500 and a direct ticket to present at the INE Innovation Pitch Competition as a finalist. And the second place will get $300, and the third place will get $200. Besides, we are also conducting a fan favorite poll. So all the audience will find a little pop-up from Zoom after all the presentations, and you can choose your favorite team pitch in the poll. The fan favorite poll winner will receive an additional $100 in grant funding. And each team will have 7-minute presentation, and after that, 8 minutes of Q&A session with the judges. Okay. At this point, I would like to introduce our judges. We have invited great experts in sustainability this year with the help of Center for Ethical and Sustainable Business, CESB. First, we have Joy Montgomery, a sustainability startup Reboot Camp founder and also a mentor for startups. judges and the National Alumni Chair at CleanTech Open. Next, we have Michelle Bogan, Senior Product Manager at Grid Tractor. She won an Innovation Award at the Energy Storage Conference and Expo. And we have Shital Kapani, VP of Life Sciences at Silicon Valley Bank. And she's also a SF State alumna. Last but not least, we have Mike Kading, Director of Software at GAF Energy. He also has a lot of startup experience, and you can find their brief bios in the chat soon. Okay. Okay, this is Joy, and this is Michelle. So if you are interested in our judges, you can find the information here. Okay. And I want to show you the order of today's presentation. So first, we have Arctic, and second, Bruit and Green Solutions, new intern, and lastly, we have Sustainability on the Move, alphabetical order, okay? Okay, now I want to introduce our very first team, Arctic. So Divik, are you ready? Would you please share your presentation slides and start your pitch? I saw you were there.
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just turning.
Okay, so please be ready to share your screen. And if you're ready, you can just share. I will stop share my screen.
Yeah, I think I'm ready. You can stop.
Okay, please share your screen. And
Got you. Just a moment.
okay. And the next team will be Bruit. So right after the Q&A, you will share your slides with the audience. So please be ready at the end of the Q&A, okay?
Hey, it just to share my screen, it asked me to like quit Zoom and come back on again. Could I just do that? Like it'll take like 2 seconds.
Okay, please do so.
Yeah.
2 seconds. Okay, so again, every team will have 7 minutes of presentation, and then there will be 8 minutes of Q&A session with the judges. Okay. And the order of presentation, Arctic, Bruit, Green Solutions, New Intern, and Sustainability on the Move. Okay, okay.
For the fan favorite,
Mhm.
can we only select from the top 3 or will it be from all 5 presentations?
So any team you like. So today we're going to have 5 presentations, right? So among all the 5 presentations, which presentation you like the most? Any team will be fine. Okay, are you ready?
You're muted.
I
David.
think he's muted, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Okay, start the clock.
Hi everyone, I'm Divik and I'm a MSBA student, and today I'm here to present to you one of an innovation me and one of my friends came up with back in Bangalore. It's called Arctic. So the first problem that I want to address is about the modern artist who struggles to enter the market space, establish an audience, understands if they're up for it, shadowed in an elitist society and lacking a platform. So I've been around a lot of like art students in my life, like back home, and I've noticed that they've always been trying really hard to like put out their work, and like it's hard for them to like really match up to other people who have already been established in this industry. And it's not an industry, it's more of like a cultural like piece, right? And like it's only accessible to a lot of like people who are on the higher end of the economic scale for some reason. And Artik is here to like solve those problems and to establish an audience for all these artists who are just upcoming, and give them a chance to like showcase themselves basically. So I took a lot of time to like describe what Artik actually means. It's a social media marketplace for upcoming artists, well-established artists, and anyone who lies in between. So like it's for anyone basically who can showcase themselves in an artistic form in any way you want. A painting, let's say a sculpture, or like you can make yourself like a table, anything. Like it's basically for anyone as long as you're willing to put yourself out there. And creating a well-organized space for exhibiting your piece, unique artwork for an audience looking to support local art. Yeah, so I have noticed a lot of people who try to go on like Instagram and like search up like artwork online, and like people who like showcase like tiny things that they do, and like they like DM to sell or like something like that. And like there's a lot of people like that, and I feel like if they're all gathered in a community filled with like-minded people, it's going to be easier to be able to access artwork from like different regions of like or different cultures, or like different types and like different age groups, basically just diverse with like-mindedness. So that's what Artik is. It's a social media place to sell your art. What Artik does, okay, so it creates a platform so like artists can come and like showcase themselves, helps network amongst like-minded people. It's like again, like I said, it has a social media component to it. So it helps you like talk to other people and like get advice, or like be able to follow different people and stuff like that. So it basically like exposes you to a lot of new things. Build your own artist image and identity through your work. Yeah, so you can definitely grow yourself as an artist in amongst the community. You get more followers, you get more uh people buying your art. You can be able to sell your art at higher prices because people are willing to pay more. Because I'll come back to the methods of revenue, and it'll be clear how they actually make money. And as a consumer, somebody who wants to buy art, you get access to buy an array of unique artwork, and they're all unique. You don't know like what you're going to run into. So it's not like you're looking for like a utility and you can find anything. Like it can look however, it can be part of different cultures or like different types of artwork, or like it might be clay or like painted. It's just like unending. Yeah, so these are like basically the methods of revenue that I came up with. So category one, so like the artist can sell his art at a fixed price, and the artist makes that fixed price, and Artik makes 2% of whatever fixed price that he had or she had laid out. And category two, so there's also a bidding concept in this. So it's more of like raising money, you could say. So like bidding without a cap. So an artist can just put up his work there and just hope for people to bid on it, and like he doesn't have like expectations or anything. So basically like he just hopes for the highest bid. And again, Artik makes 2% of the highest bid. It's all the same in all of those cases, bidding with a fixed low cap. So basically like the bid starts at a specific like amount, and like and then the bid ends at like the highest cap after the fixed low cap. Basically it's simple. And unknown low cap, so you don't know what the low cap is, so you just keep bidding. So like sometimes the artist would like to know how much his art might sell for, so he might like put an unknown low cap, but he still wouldn't want to like sell it at a lower price. So he just like make sure. It's simple. It's just normal like. So creating a community, this is what I really want to like express in my like in Artik. More than making money, for me, it's like I wanted to like create a Reddit space, you could say, for art community. And like so like first it's like a social media interactions, artists share views, specifications of their type of art, stories, etc. You can like basically put up whatever you feel like about yourself. If you feel like you're special in some way, or like if you feel like you've come up through like hard times and your art is like like a description of what you've been through. You can basically, it's unending. Like you can showcase yourself in whatever form that you'd like to. Customers can share their thoughts too, so like about prices, colors, views. So like it just like creates a tight-knit community amongst like the people who make stuff and also the people who buy stuff. So people are always satisfied and people are always like able to like speak to each other. And this is what I've noticed like amongst like art communities, like they're all very willing to share their thoughts, and it's actually really nice. I've spent a lot of time with people like this, like discussing this specific idea, and it's been like amazing, like how they feel so like connected to their art, and like it's insane. And that's why I really wanted to like create this. Specific links to our take profile can share anywhere. Yeah, so basically you can take your link and like share it like on your Instagram, so that draws in all your followers, and basically that helps you like make like, you know, raise more money for your artwork. Like you bid more and like you get more money to your artwork, so it gives people like an incentive to like bring in followers. Building followers on the platform helps raise more money on the art. Yeah, so again, that gives the incentives to draw more people in. Eventually, creating a solid community helps build a stable market. Yeah, so if there is a solid community, it's always gonna remain. So you're not gonna, if it's like a sportsman like creating like his follower list, you know. So like the people who appreciate your work are always going to stay, and that creates a stable platform for you to like you know, work on and sell your stuff on like continuously, like so that's what it means basically. Who are we helping? Yeah, so small art businesses. So I've seen a lot of art businesses in Bangalore, like who have like, there's an example called Kaveri Emporium, who basically make their stuff a lot of woodwork on the outskirts of Karnataka, and Kaveri Emporium like brings it in and sells it to people. And recently they've been having a lot of hard time like selling their stuff, you know. And
Okay, time's up. So you have to stop pitching, and we're gonna have a Q&A. So if you didn't finish your pitch, and you may like have a like you may like
yeah,
answer some questions to the judges too. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, Joy, Mike, Chantal, Michelle. So we're gonna start with Joy, Michelle, Chantal, and Mike for this turn, okay? So Joy, do you have any questions or feedback on this idea? Hi, Joy. Are you there? It seems like there's some issues. So Michelle.
Yes,
You-
can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hi.
I can hear you.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much for putting together this presentation and presenting. It's really exciting to be here, and looking forward to the event. For this particular presentation, yeah, one question I had is, I wanted to know, Divik, if you could share a little bit more about who you think the competitors are to your product, or the competitors to this marketplace that you'd be developing.
Yeah, so basically wherever my marketing strategy is, so it's based off of Bangalore. So I have like gone through a lot of websites. So like there's Sotheby's and like Etsy and like eBay, let's say, but none of them like have like a specific platform that I've like let's say Sotheby's, they verify your artwork. So like you can only sell artwork on Sotheby's if it's verified that it's from like a known artist. So again, so I'm different that way because I help anybody who wants to post their art can like put up their art. So it doesn't matter like who the artist is. And so the other bidding platforms, let's say eBay, but again, it's not a community like at eBay. So you just put your stuff up and like people just bid on it. And so that's how it is. So I could say like these two are like generally my two competitors, but again, Sotheby's doesn't run in Bangalore. Like you have to like get it through customs. So technically, they'd be way more expensive to even like order anything off of them.
Great,
Okay.
thank you.
Joy, are you so can you speak now? It seems we cannot hear you still.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, great.
Oh, good.
Questions?
I kept saying things and you couldn't hear me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
one of the things that I always like to see is a team, and especially a team that includes someone who knows finance. Because you didn't get to finish your whole pitch.
Mhm.
I don't know if you got into detail about the finance, but investors will be looking for actual dollars. You know, they'll want to know what's in it for them. Pretty much they want 5 to 10 times their money in 2 days.
Yeah, basically my methods of income, like I had put it up here. So again,
Yeah,
like
but that's not actually how you're going to use the money or spend the money. It's not dollars.
Mhm.
And investors actually are looking for dollars.
Um,
Another thing, but I do like this screen very much. It's very useful.
mm.
I was going to congratulate you on that one. But you do need someone to come up with estimates of what this is going to bring in and when people are going to get their money back. They want to see 3 to 5 years of a budget, kind of a spreadsheet.
Yeah,
And as far as a competition, I made the mistake of ordering art supplies for my daughter online for Christmas. And I'm inundated with this type of website ads where they're saying anybody can have art on their online studio. So I wonder if you've done enough research into the competition.
I've like at least like the city that I wanted to base it off, I've like made my research. I've in touch with a lot of people who actually sell their art online. They have over like individually have over 20,000 like followers on Instagram and stuff. So what they do is like they post their art on the story, and the first person who like says like I want to buy it, like they sell it. So I thought if you could bring all those followers on to like Artique, so people get to bid on it, and like you can like raise more money for your artwork basically, and it also helps to like raise money for like other events, so your art can like be helpful to raise money for like certain like like natural disasters or other social events that need money to be raised. And it also helps you like indulge in different cultures, so like you're exposed to a lot of things. And it also helps in like promoting sustainable products, because most of the people I have like pitched to are all in the Gen Z and the millennial range, and they've all been very, very like vocal about their for their products being sustainable. So
Okay. Shital, do you have any question?
I do. I did want to dive in a little bit more on the competitive landscape. I actually worked with a client way back when in India, Saffron Art, and they have an auctioning platform. I believe it's all over India and even international, where artists can auction their art pieces. I think yours goes a little beyond where you're trying to really build community. But I think in terms of the price point, and Joy just mentioned, it would be really interesting to scout out what is the range of these art pieces that you are planning to, put on the platform and target selling. I understand the highest bid, but I imagine these are kind of smaller, not so well-known artists. If you can comment a little bit about that, it'd be so helpful.
yeah, so basically like we initially thought that we'd get like a bunch of artwork on there with fixed prices. to like realize like what people are willing to pay for their art pieces initially, and slowly work our way from that, because we get like like feedback from the people who bought it as well, to say, oh, is it too expensive, is it too like but or they'd be like, oh, I would have been willing to pay more. Also wanted to like get in touch with, so like saris, so saris are like unique pieces, right? So like one sari is like, that's the only sari that you find. And a lot of times, like let's say my mom would have paid more for a sari if like she knew that like somebody else was going to like buy it. So it helps them like bring, because that's again like an art piece. So again, we wanted to like bring out a fixed price platform first, to see like what people are willing to pay, to like be able to decide on like the basis of like how we can like price it going forward from there. Like, so if you're a new coming artist, you can't be able to just put ridiculous prices on your thing. But if you have more followers, and if you're like willing to be like, if you're like very popular on the platform itself, like it's acceptable for you to be able to like put like a premium on your product.
Got it. And in terms of, original art pieces actually getting to the person who buys it, and, so there's no fraud, how do you guys tackle that, or how do you plan to tackle that?
Exactly. So like again, like I had like at least like 3 people with me who were very like art conscious and stuff. So they were willing to like verify it for us. Like they because they were part of the community itself, and they wanted to like verify the artworks first, and before being able to put it on the platform itself. Like we need to know like it actually exists, and it's not just like a Google image or like something like that.
Great. I love what you're doing for the artist community. I would encourage you to even look at, some of the folks here, Deviant Art, Art Entrepreneur. There are a few here who are pretty successful. Yeah. And then there's a whole topic of AI copying their art. So another topic for you to dive in, but I'll stop here and pass it on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, actually our Q&A session's time's up, but Mike, if you have any comment or feedback, please do so quickly.
Sure. My comments are going to be about competitive space. I'll give you a quick suggestion. Deviant Art is very much in your space. I think Ravelry, which is an equivalent for the knitting community, and also thinking about commissions as a input source as opposed to just auctioning. I think tying the ability to for custom pieces would be a strong revenue source. Thank you.
Yeah, that is pretty useful advice. Definitely. Yeah, commissions. Like, yeah, I haven't thought about that. That would work for sure.
Okay, now we are going to have the next team's pitch. The next team's pitch is Brew It. Santiago, are you ready to share your screen?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Give me 1 second. I got you right now.
And the next team is Green Solution by Heaven. So please be ready to share your screen right after the Q&A, okay? Okay. Yeah, once you're ready, you can start and I will start the clock.
Perfect. I'm ready. Hello, everyone. My name is Santiago Escobedo, and I'm currently a marketing student here at San Francisco State University, and I'm the creator and founder of Brew It, connecting you to your local brewery. I'm gonna go straight to it. So what is Brew It? Brew It is a craft beer delivery service and marketplace app which allows breweries to deliver directly to their local customers. And we do this by providing a sustainable and hassle-free experience. Before we start, though, I'd like to share some fun numbers with you. Beer is loved everywhere in the world, bringing in $731.6 billion in 2022. The United States in particular saw great results with a total of $111 billion in revenue. But the real excitement is here in California. According to Statista and the Brewers Association, 95% of Californians live within 10 miles of a brewery. And with 931 craft breweries, California ranks first in the nation, generating $9 billion in 2021. But we do have to be aware of an early problem and issue we face. The main issues that current delivery services face right now are usually unhappy customers or late deliveries. For us, it's a little more complicated, but more exciting. It's more of a waiting game. Direct-to-consumer delivery, beer delivery is currently available in 8 other states in the USA, not including California though. But what you see here is Bill SB 1198. With the recent passing of the Senate last year, we are positive that the Assembly and the governor will also take action on this bill, where we plan on pushing our services to the local San Francisco market. We also see ourselves growing onto neighboring cities and states as direct-to-consumer delivery becomes legal nationwide. But that's just the big picture. In order to reach that point, we have to stick to our 3 main drivers of operations, which are sustainability, technology, and the community. We'll start with the first one, sustainability. At Brewitt, our aim is to reduce the carbon footprint emissions associated with our services by setting quarterly goals and aiming to achieve them. We plan on leveraging our connection with the breweries that we already have contact with and take a sustainable approach and offset a percentage of their emissions through donations as well. We also plan on applying to and hopefully receiving our B Corp certification after we launch our app to the public. The current beer product journey goes through a very lengthy process, which I truly believe this process not only lacks sustainability, but it also disconnects the customer from the brewery. It goes from brewery to distributor to the local liquor or grocery store, where our competitors' drivers still have to drive towards that location, pick it up, and then it goes to your doorstep. All of this adds an annual average of 42.6 tons of unnecessary CO2. And when a customer orders from Brewitt, which is highlighted in the green, they will reduce these emissions to 5.6 tons by streamlining the delivery process. We will be hiring contract drivers using electric and hybrid vehicles only, and we will be delivering using sustainable branded packaging and paperless transactions. With sustainability being a solid driver to our ethos, we hope to set a new standard for environmentally responsible beer delivery, which lets us introduce the second main driver, the technology that we're using. What you see on this slide is the prototype to our login screen and the potential marketplace to our app. Breweries will be bidding for certain placements on our app like hot deals, but the key data will be driven by location services. If we are fortunate enough to win this pitch contest, we will use the funds to finish the last touches of our prototypes and connect our app to the Salesforce delivery service management tool, which leads on to our third driver, the community. Our community operations will focus on building the structure and setting local community events for breweries and their customers. Remember though, while we do plan on delivering the beer to the customer at home, our mission is not to take the customer away from the brewery, but to connect them. And how do we do that? With our app. At Brewitt, we prioritize the customer experience. Our users will be able to see reviews and rewards they have achieved and compare them to their friends and contacts. Basically, the more you purchase with us and interact with your friends and others' reviews, the more achievements and hops you will receive, which you can then eventually redeem for discounts, merchandise, or special events at the breweries themselves. Ultimately, we aim to provide the data and information on sales and trends to breweries quicker and more efficient than liquor stores and grocery stores already do. Now, as one of the first companies in the market to offer this type of service, our current main competitors are Drizzly and Tabber. While Drizzly, like Uber Eats and Stassi, they aim to deliver products to customers as quickly and efficiently as possible. Tabber offers long-distance shipping from people's favorite breweries across the nation, with some states, with some exclusion to some states. Our goal is to bring these two concepts together and create a sustainable solution that connects breweries to their local customers. Since we currently have no funding, we're relying heavily on social media and self-promotion by attending brewery events and networking with individuals, asking brewmasters questions about their services, and we also do plan on advertising on Muni and other public transportations as part of our first marketing campaigns. The reason behind this is because according to the SFCTA, there are approximately 4.4 million daily trips on public transportation in San Francisco. Although we're not there yet, advertising on public transportation is a cost-effective and impactful way to reach local customers, especially in the early stages of a launch where we will primarily be focused in the San Francisco market. Our business model will rely heavily on 4 key revenue streams. Our main revenue stream will come from hosting the marketplace for the consumers and the catalog for the breweries. We will charge the breweries an initial fee of $600 to access our platform and then take 20% commission of monthly sales thereafter. Additionally, we will generate revenue by charging the consumers a $2 fee per item and an additional $5 fee for any additional stops on the route. And although relationships aren't considered revenue streams, we do know they do play a key role in generating revenues in early stages of a startup. And later down the line, we do aim to either outsource or implement our own blockchain, where we can put our reward systems and our crypto, and basically having each individual have the access of their crypto and their wallet with the app. But that's down the line in the future. And last but not least, our SWOT analysis. Our app has several strengths, but having full media rights to our marketplace when we release the app is key. Some of the early challenges we do face include high startup costs and the potential for increased competition once the bill is passed. And there are also several opportunities for us, but we think that the feedback and optimization of our early users will help us go in the right direction. And although one of the main threats we are facing early on is the rising global beer prices, we do plan on growing nationwide as other states will usually follow California on the path to legalization of direct-to-consumer delivery. Thank you. This is Brewitt, connecting you to your local brewery.
Great, thanks. Now you're gonna have Q&A session with the judges. So this time, Shital, Mike, Joy, and Michelle, this order, okay? Shital, do you have any question?
I do have a question. Could you explain to me the sustainability aspect of your business? It wasn't really clear.
Yeah, so basically the whole app itself, like Brewitt itself, is the sustainability solution. So basically right now the beer product journey is very lengthy. You know, it's a 3-tier system. And let's say you were supposed to order, you and your friends order a beer on DoorDash or on Uber Eats, and it's from a brewery from down the block, because San Francisco has 25 breweries and more than 25 breweries here in the city. So, but with that beer product, the journey of that product can go all the way to Petaluma. It goes all the way to Petaluma to a distributor's, and then it goes to your local liquor store where an Uber driver still has to pick it up. So what we do, we're the sustainable solution that goes directly from a brewery to the consumer, cutting off all the middlemen and then providing a second source of revenue or another source of revenue for the brewery as well. So we're not really competing with them because DoorDash and Uber Eats have like their own business model, since we're going to be connecting with the breweries directly to them.
And then another quick question before I pass it on. You mentioned competitors like Drizzly. What stops them from doing what you're doing?
So I would say definitely the law right now, basically right now, there's no legal direct-to-consumer delivery here in California. I think what stops them is, or what differentiates us from them, is definitely the initial relationships that we have with the breweries. DoorDash and Saucy, what they do is they deliver from liquor stores. Again, they don't have any sense of relationships with the breweries. Their data and their information all come from liquor stores and grocery stores. So I think what puts us on the pedestal is having that key relationship with the breweries in the initial phase.
Okay, great. I'll pass it on. I have one more question I'll put in the chat.
Thank you.
Thanks. Mike? You're on mute.
Wasting time. Thank you, Santiago. The core question I have is around the pricing related to what the breweries are charging to opt into the system. $600 for an initiation fee and then 20% of all sales. Did I hear that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, can you ground me on like how that relates to pricing around like from Uber or other similar delivery services?
Yeah, so basically, I did a little bit of background research, and those services already charge a 30% a monthly sales fee. So I think us providing the 20%, it's already a better option. And then they do also, like I said, it's mostly them with liquor stores and grocery stores, so they don't have that relationship with the breweries at this moment, at least here in California. I know for a fact it's legal in 8 other states, for example, Washington and Oregon. But they don't have, I Googled, I searched, and I couldn't find a direct-to-consumer delivery platform that does what we're doing at this time.
Thank you, Satya.
Thank you.
Okay, Joy?
I got muted again after I unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so your sum on your TAM SAM SOM slide is actually the total available market for the state of California. It's not what may be available to you. That comes from you actually saying, all right, looking at the whole picture, how much of this California market do we think we can get? And you're not going to get the entire California market. The Bill SB 1198 screen is not really useful. If you extract a few bullet points from that are beneficial for you, that would work a lot better than a slide that nobody can read.
Got it.
And then some congratulations. The B Corp is admirable. You have relevant graphics. A lot of times people just put stuff on there to fill up space and look pretty, but yours are relevant. It's excellent to say how you're going to use the prize money. People always want to know how you're going to use their money. And then a gaming approach is clever. And then one last thought is that your SWOT analysis is not specific to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Lastly, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you so much, Santiago, for your presentation. I wanted to touch on the financing aspect. So you talked about the revenue model, but I'm curious if you could expand a little bit on what type of capital do you need to get to a minimum viable product? And then what's the timeline to get to an expected positive cash flow?
Yeah, definitely. So I did do the a little bit of calculations and adding on like because so basically the way we would do is we would hire drivers, so we wouldn't even have to own the cars that we're going to be delivering with. So most of our expenses are going to rely on just the business licenses and a lot of legal and professional fees. Also finding an office space, because I think if we're going to headquarters here in San Francisco, I definitely think that finding that office space is going to be a big factor in our early steps. Yeah.
Okay.
Great, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Now we are going to have Green Solutions by Heaven. Is it right? Heaven?
Hi, yes, it's Green Solutions.
Okay. So you can share the screen.
Okay.
Okay, whenever you're ready, you can start.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi everybody, thank you for this opportunity. Green Solutions is a startup based in Ethiopia that fights environmental pollution. Green Solutions on a journey to bring innovative model of development in the region of Horn of Africa. Green Solutions will be a leading example of environmental sustainability as it motivates generation of green champions by creating value and rethinking plastic. So Green Solutions is trying to solve two problems. The first problem is plastic pollution. The amount of plastic waste is expected to quadruple in the next 2-3 decades, and only less than 15% of it is being recycled. Green Solution wants to start its operations in Ethiopia and export the products to other countries, because Ethiopia is the fastest growing plastic recycling industry in Africa and second highest plastic consumer in East and Central Africa. The country has rapid population growth that is causing excessive pollution in the absence of adequate and efficient recycling systems. The second problem is due to the rapid pace of urbanization and growing population in Ethiopia, there is an urgent need for the expansion of adequate, resilient, and affordable infrastructure. And Green Solutions presents a solution that tackles the plastic waste and the need for affordable, sustainable walking tiles. So what we do is we collect the plastic waste from established and soon to be established networks, and we recycle the plastic to transform it into walking tiles, and we sell it. Green Solutions will also develop a platform similar to Empower to trace the recycling system. So the product is a walking tiles that can come in different forms and shapes. And the services are going to be collection system, tracking recycle system, benefit program for individuals participating in the plastic collection and recycling supply chain. In our business model, the first phase is to collect plastic using firms such as Tena Water Company and Petco Ethiopia. It's an Ethiopian recycling community organization. which will then be transported to Green Solutions production facility. And the other raw materials needed besides the plastic are going to be sand and coloring. In the processing stage, the machinery for production are going to be made by our partner Bajaj Ethiopia. The machinery would do the washing, shredding, melting, and mixing the plastic with the other raw materials to form the walking tiles. In the selling stage, contractors, retailers, and government agencies will purchase walking tiles to be used in the development of private and public infrastructure. And the housing development project and job creation program in Ethiopia include projects to offtake 60% with additional commitment from the private construction industry. And we will trace what our activities and what kind of plastic and how many plastic is being recycled and where it's going. Green Solutions will provide the platform as a service to other firms who want to recycle plastic and trace their system as well. Green Solutions will be the first company in Ethiopia to recycle plastic waste and convert it into construction material, specifically walking tiles. And we provide distinct value through sustainability, quality, acceptability, and affordability. Sustainability, because we're actively recycling post-consumer plastic, and unlike the competing firms, we implement plastic traceability in our operation and as a service for other companies in the recycling plastic field. Accessibility, the walking tiles have different features and wide range of design choices, as well as the option to customize. The competitive firms have limited varieties of features and designs. And by competitive firms, I mean the cement-based walking tile production companies. Affordability, the walking tile prices are 50% cheaper when we sell them. In terms of quality, the tiles have high resistance to rot and temperature change. They are durable, light in weight, easily transported and installed or removed with enhanced thermal insulation. So excuse me. Market potential. Currently in Ethiopia and its neighboring countries, construction materials such as tiles are in high demand and high price, and they're weak in quality. 70% of houses in Ethiopia need to be replaced, and there has been a 10% increase in the tiles prices since 2022. The value of Ethiopian construction has been growing massively from $55 million to $143 million, which is more than a double. Green Solutions can access $1.2 million in sales in the first year of production, and then $4.3 million where it reached the second phase of production. Partnerships. So Green Solutions has secured partnerships with the Ethiopian government, who has agreed to offtake 60% of our sales for housing development projects, and PETCO, the Ethiopian organization for recycling plastic. And they will help us with collection and to reach their customer base. And a water company and plastic collection, and Bajaj Ethiopia to manufacture the machinery and also be a project manager and provide technical assistance. In the coming few years, Green Solutions has an expansion plan to neighboring countries such as Uganda and Kenya. By 2025, Green Solutions has partnership agreements with KIP Plastic, a Kenyan company, to form a joint venture as it caters to Kenyan market. We bring forth our technology while KIP helps us by contributing their market and know-how. Similarly, Green Solutions has a team here in California, and will be expanding and making its products marketable in the Bay Area and hopefully throughout the whole United States. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so you're going to have a Q&A session with the judges, and this time Mike first, and then Joy, Michelle, and Shital. Okay, Mike.
Sure, thank you, Heaven. Can you bring up your slide with the cost of materials and the anticipated selling price again, please?
This one? The cost
yes. Just let me read that a second. So $3 per 1 square meter and $8 for selling price for 1 square meter. Am I reading that right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. you don't happen to have a sample of the product, do you?
We do. I don't have a picture of it, but it's we do have a sample of the product. It's not really finalized. It's
Okay.
like a small piece. Yeah, but we're
Okay.
experimenting with it right now.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I just wanted to double check that. That slide in particular took me a little bit of time to process and understand exactly what you were saying. W- In terms of the partnerships and the depth of this, have you already secured funding, or is there, like, where are you at in terms of like actually having resources in place to actually produce this?
We, in terms of funding, we're still trying to find investors and funds. We are in contact with some investors at the moment, and we just need more documents, and we're still in the process.
Okay, and what are the commitments from your partners? Like, are you into like signed contracts, or like give me a sense of what these partnership relationships look like.
Okay, so the Ethiopian government, we have a contract.
Okay.
They will take 60% of our products for their construction development, and with Petco, we have a contract with Ethiopian government, Petco, and Enel Water. With Beja Ethio, we have a contract in terms of them making our machinery, but we do not have a contract with them for their for being project partner and technical assistance. But we are working with them constantly, and yeah, we hope to have a contract.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much.
Okay, Joy, do you have any comment?
Am I unmuted? Looks like it. All right, so I'd like to know the problem before people start talking about what they're going to do, and you brought it up pretty quickly, not in the first place, but right after, and you define it very well. You have to be careful with grandiose terms like vast collection system, that kind of a thing. People roll their eyes at things like that because it just seems too much. You've made wonderful connections. That's really admirable. Most startups don't do as well as you in making the connections that they need. If you use fewer words on the screen, people have the ability to listen to you more intensely. So if you just did bullet points, for instance, on that one slide that Mike asked you to pull up, if you just had the headings on the screen, then they're listening to you talking about each point rather than looking at the screen and not paying attention to you. And there's a couple things that investors want to know. Can you do this? Does anybody want it? And can they stand you? So if they're reading the screen and trying to figure out what these tiny little words are on the screen, they're not actually finding out if they want to work with you because they're not looking at you at all. So they're not seeing your facial expressions, your attitude. They're not seeing any of that. And end of life. I'm concerned about the fact that it is plastic. It's still going to be plastic. It's still going to be in the environment, and it's still going to be slowly degrading and going into the earth. So that's probably something you have to address.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Joy. Michelle?
Yeah, thank you so much, Heaven, for your presentation. I wanted to touch on the sort of the last point that Joy started to talk about. So I think you've described really well how, this is tied to sustainability. So it's a recycling and repurposing process, and that's the product. I'm curious if you've done any research on the sustainability of the life cycle or the process and manufacturing of the tiles itself. So for example, there's the current sort of baseline product that you're comparing your product against. It's the cement tiles. There's a manufacturing process to produce those tiles. So there's sustainability tied in, the manufacturing process. Do you have any sense of what's the sustainability of the process to manufacture from the recycled plastic to manufacture the plastic tiles?
Yes, so it does take less time and less process to make the walking tiles out of plastic and sand, rather than making it with cement, because it does produce when it's cement produced, it involves a lot of harsh chemicals and longer processes. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Now, Shital.
Yeah, quick question. So the factory is up and running and the cost, per square foot has already been established?
No, it's not up and running yet. We're still looking for funds, but we have searched on how much profitability we would take according to the market right now in Ethiopia, and how much it would take us to make it, just based on the prices currently available.
Oh, so you're looking at, so for example, what other parallels are there in the market for these tiles? I know there's, I think, something called One Roof where they're using it on the roofs in Africa, but what market research has gone into establishing the cost per price?
So since there are no other companies doing the same thing that we're doing right now in Africa, we've only based our research on how much the raw materials would take and how much the machinery would take us to buy them.
Okay, got it. And then another quick question. I know so I've heard about the Norwegian startup, which is Empower Eco. Could you also consider partnering with them instead of just building that whole technology yourself, or what's the thought there?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
So Empower.co, which is the Norwegian firm that I think you also mentioned in your presentation.
Yes.
Would you also consider just partnering with them instead of building your own software platform that actually tracks the plastics?
Oh, yes. So we've talked with Empower, and they allowed us to use their platform. When we first start, we're going to be using their platform to trace our system. But then later we will develop our own, when we have the funds, we will develop our own platform similar to theirs.
And then to start the factory, what is the initial funding that you're looking for?
So we're looking at $20,000 to $30,000 just to start the production, and then it will go up to $1 million.
Okay, thank you. Over to you, Nara.
Thank you. Okay, we already had 3 teams pitches. Now we have 4th team, new intern by Sean. Sean, if you're ready, you can share your screen and start your pitch.
Thank you so much. Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, great. It's also very nice to see you, Professor, outside of class.
Yeah. Nice to see you.
Let me go here. Sometimes I have trouble with this. Are you all able to see? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you see a PowerPoint presentation or no?
Good.
Or are you able? Sorry, Nara, are you able to see the logo here with the
Logo? I cannot see the logo. I can just see the bag and the new intern.
Oh yes. Okay. So you see this?
Yeah, internship in 5 minutes. Yep.
Thank you so much. Okay, great. Well, then I'll go ahead and get started.
Okay.
So good afternoon, everybody. I want to share a solution to a pressing social problem that I think is often overlooked today. As you all know, as we all know and experience, internships are very, very difficult to attain for young college students, and they're even harder to attain and to get for young college minorities. Just to give some perspective on that, there are about 1.1 million internships in the United States as of 2020 data, and only 12% of that, so roughly 132,000 of those jobs, of those internships, are occupied by people between the ages of 20 and 30. Minorities between the ages of 20 and 30 only occupy about 58,000 of that 132,000, that's an even lower percentage, 5%. Okay, and as we all know, the less you are represented in a field that you would like to go into, the more you are demoralized and the less likely you are to apply towards those positions, at least in many cases. And that's a negative feedback loop that it won't just stop on its own, right? It's unsustainable. And in general, most college students have zero internship experience and they don't know how to actually stand out against other candidates. It's very hard beyond just basic resume prep. And so, how could we solve this? Now, we can't necessarily solve all the systemic barriers in the world that happen at the level of legislature, but something that can definitely aid this problem significantly would be a quick and easy resource that gives college students internship advice, right? But directly from interns themselves. That's the uniqueness of what we have to offer here at New Intern. Okay, so instead of generic blog posts and overused tips and tricks, you find the same SEO blogs on the web over and over again, the same tips and tricks, nothing new, right? But this would be a resource from the interns themselves, and it would have an emphasis in benefiting underrepresented students, but simultaneously, it would have benefit for all college students. And so what is the product exactly? Well, primarily, New Intern is a free email newsletter that features the experiences of diverse interns in the United States, so it's a domestic product. How does it work? Well, we go out, New Intern, we go out and we interview these diverse interns and interns in general, and we ask them specifically, how did they earn their role? What do they do in them? And what advice did they have for other students looking for similar positions, right? Those are the things that we want to know that you can't just find, which there should be a resource for that. Well, we're creating it now. And essentially what we do is we extract value from those interviews and we make it easy to read, we make it fun, we make it witty. We just take all the value from it. And if you want, and so it's short form email newsletter content, but we also have full interviews on YouTube. We have content made for LinkedIn. It's on our website. So it's very, very accessible, and it should be accessible through all channels we're working on expanding. Now, how do we make money, right? That's pretty important. So revenue would primarily be generated through advertisements that are placed within our New Intern newsletters or within our other content, but our newsletters are our primary vehicle, right? It's our primary product. And so who would we want advertising with us, and who would want to advertise with us to our audience, who are aspiring, minority students and college students in general? Well, educational companies would be very interested. College programs, colleges that are trying to get their degree programs out, or programs in general. Companies like Quizlet or Chegg, even though I know those are kind of associated with cheating, but you get the idea. Diversity, equity, and inclusion institutions, right? There's fellowships designed specifically for people of color and for women. I actually just learned about that last week from an interview I just recently did, which is really, really cool. So stuff like that actually emerges within the newsletter. Companies like Europe as well. Also, companies with good corporate social responsibility, right? Patagonia, Tom's, and among others, right? Those would be great people that we would want to feature and have ads for, and they would want to tap into our audience base as well. Companies also could pay to have their own interns featured. Let's say if Patagonia was interested in having their interns featured, they could pay us and we could interview them. There's also certain various types of premium content that we're trying to produce. Now, how are we going to market this newsletter? Okay, there's a lot of different ways. I'm going to try and get through them, but one thing that I'm most excited about is our referral program. Now, the referral program is kind of like a software at the bottom of every newsletter that has a shareable link that an excited reader can share with their friends and get them to sign up. And every sign up creates a total count for them. And let's say if they get 50 people to sign up using their link, well, they can trade it in for some cool merchandise. And so on the right, the photo is kind of a mock-up of how it would look. And there's a New Intern denim cap in case any of you are interested later. So anyways, we also have an ambassador program. I tried to do a trial run here at San Francisco State, and I can explain more later. But essentially, this would be a strategy to have people pitching our newsletter and encouraging signups at their respective campuses. Of course, there's newsletter advertising as well, where New Intern reaches out to newsletters with similar audience bases, right? College students, college minorities, and just aspiring interns, and we can advertise on their platform and gain subscribers that way. And in addition, all the social media channels, campaigning on those are very, very important, and we're trying to do that. Now, for our team side, who's on the team? Well, at the moment, it actually is just me. I'm a senior at San Francisco State. This is my last semester. I'm the founder and project lead of New Intern. We've been running it I've been running it for 4 months, but I say we a lot because when you become a brand, you become kind of a plurality. So I've been actively searching for a team. I'm hoping to find people who are as excited about this as I am. I'm a marketing major, and I have a passion for writing. So this is perfect, right where I want to be. And essentially I want this to become a domestic resource for minority students and students in general. So this can become much bigger than it is already. So what's our traction? What have we done with some milestones? We launched our first newsletter exclusively for marketing internships in November 2022. So this is a process for all types of industries and internships, but I had to start with one. I had to narrow it down to start with something. So our marketing internship newsletter is currently active and up. It's kind of like our pilot. And pitching to San Francisco State classes in person has converted into a 43% sign-up rate, which was much higher than I was expecting. That is, every class I pitch to is averaging 43% of the entire class signing up. And this semester I will be pitching as well, so you might see me in your classes. We currently have 70 subscribers from classroom pitch signups and some of the interns themselves. For the past 4 months, every week we've been sending out newsletters, uploading posts on our website, putting out LinkedIn content, and putting our full interviews on YouTube that you can view. And of course, we have a 15% conversion rate for cold marketing emails to interns. So in order to create these interviews, we have to get interns to accept doing it, right? And so out of every 50, around 5 to 8 actually say yes, which is pretty huge as well. It's sustainable for our project. And lastly, one cool thing that I wanted to
Okay, that's it. So time's up. Okay, so you're gonna have Q&A session with the judges. And Joy, Michelle, Shitara, Mike, that order, okay? Joy, do you have any comment, feedback, question?
I do.
Hi there.
I want to thank you right off the bat for starting with the problem.
Thank you.
It's kind of curious to me because I have been doing career coaching for veterans for a long time, and every once in a while someone will ask me to help one of their students. So it's interesting to me that this is a problem at all. I'm not sure if you need to keep on dividing students into two categories, one that includes all of them and one that includes only part of them. So I think it might be useful to just say all students, rather than splitting us up. I'm concerned about the untied United States instead of the United States. Would companies pay to advertise jobs on this, internships?
I'm sorry, do you mind repeating that?
Would companies pay to advertise internships on the site?
No. So we want to set ourselves apart from being just another job site. So we wouldn't have companies paying to advertise their specific internships. It would have to be through a different form, like they feature one of their interns, which gives publicity to that specific position, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Michelle, do you have any comment, questions?
Yes, thank you, Sean, for your presentation. I have maybe 2 questions. First, I wanted to ask if there was a sustainability aspect to your company or product.
Yeah, so ultimately, this was a question that I was wrestling over before coming here. Ultimately, what I'm dealing with is what I believe to be a pressing social sustainability question, so not necessarily related to anything ecological or things like that. I can say, though, that we have very, very low carbon emissions, being that we are an email newsletter. But apart from that, our focus has to do on the social aspect of sustainability.
Great, thank you for that. And then one more question, if there's time. I know you said you're not a job platform, but I'm curious, have you done any research on who you think potential competitors are in this space, or if there are any?
Yes, actually, the 7 minutes was a hard constraint and I had to abandon a couple of slides. But as far as our competitors go, there are things that are almost similar, but not quite like it. And so I'll give you a few examples. The first would be colleges do their own internship newsletters. Most of them do it for their own students. But when you read them, they're all in PDF form, and none of them are modern. They haven't really upgraded or innovated that in any way. It's just basic PDF, long form. It's fairly boring, not to be so critical of these other institutions, but it's just not something that they're focusing on like we are. And then another example of competitors would be small hobbyists like myself who are doing specific subject fields, right? So I actually have a friend, after telling him about my concept, he mentioned to me that he subscribes to like a mechanical engineering one, which again, they don't utilize the interviewing interns. It's just more about the subject type of newsletters. So small hobbyists and academic institutions, but none of our competitors utilize the interviewing process like we do.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
I really like that you are including, current interns. I think it's really valuable information for incoming interns. How do you plan to keep recruiting them and posting content? Because that might be a challenge.
Thank you. Yeah, you actually are touching on a very huge obstacle that I've just encountered with this project. So right now, our main mode of producing this content, right, is through LinkedIn and reaching out to, I have a paid premium account, but they limit you with only about 50 in-mails a month, right? So you only get 50 attempts, and they have no kindness or lenience when it comes to expanding that for any enterprise plan. It's 50 flat. So current solutions, which I still need to find a better one, but by finding team members who would also like to participate, that would expand the amount of in-mails that we have to reach out to people. And also developing more credibility so that emailing people outside of LinkedIn would also have an effect, and without having to be kind of held hostage to LinkedIn's process. So at the moment, I don't have a clear solution to your question, but I'm working on them currently.
That makes sense. And then another thought is maybe you just partner with the career advisory centers within universities, because this is in their interest too.
Wow, I did not think of that. I'm going to write that down. Thank you.
Okay, Mike.
Cool. Thank you, Sean, for that. I basically observed that you're kind of getting into a digital media play, and that's a tough business to live in. My core question was like, who's your audience? And I was kind of working through that. I think your fundamental value proposition is connecting employers to low-cost workforce. I think that's potentially your largest revenue stream as well. And so when you said companies are not paying to advertise their jobs, that's I would reconsider that. I think you do have an opportunity to think in terms of basically a scalability play for college campus offices, career counseling offices, because they can also be a source of recent interns and recent things. So I don't know that I have a question, but the core thing is like I think piggybacking on Sheetal's thought about getting into the college career offices, and also looking at it as another effectively looking at an advertising revenue stream. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And to your point, despite me just saying no earlier to companies directly advertising their opportunities, I'm saying no right now because there's a certain brand, there's a certain authenticity I'm trying to build to capture the audience. But as it grows, having job advertisements directly from companies is definitely an option I've thought about, and I think it will become viable. For now, I'm trying to position myself as a certain type of product to get the subscribers, to get the companies interested. But yeah, great points. Thank you.
And that can be a section, like or a future thing or something like that. I understand where you're going with it. So thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Now we have our last pitch. So last pitch is Sustainability on the Move by Anne.
Hello.
Hi.
All right, I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, has it shown up?
Yes.
Okay, great. So my name is Ann Buick. I am an SF State Scholar in accounting here at SF State. It's my second semester. I transferred from Monterey Peninsula College. And I'm currently an intern, a pathways intern with the Department of Defense in Monterey. So we all know that climate and sustainability are an issue, and we all.
And wait a second, I think some part of your presentation is just blocked with some, black.
Okay.
Yeah,
Try again.
Can you just try to share it again?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, I will try a different mode of sharing. Let's see if that works. Go back. Is that better? Can you see it now?
Yeah, we can see it, but yeah, it's the same problem, but yeah, it's on the side. So
And I think it's your Zoom window is somehow blocking. Maybe close your chat window or close your participant window.
Okay. Let's see.
Wouldn't be a Zoom meeting without an IT issue, right?
Of course not, not that we've made it 3 years doing this almost. Let me get back. Okay.
So I don't think it'll be a big problem. It's just on the side of the right side of your presentation. So if you can just explain it clear, then it'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm getting some weird screen cut in and out on my end. So I want to make sure that's not showing up.
Yeah. Some parts are fine, but some parts have a little bit. Oh, it's fine. It's fine now.
Okay, let me go back to the beginning.
Okay.
Oh, now it's
clear. It's clear. So you can start from the beginning.
All right, let me get back to the beginning. Okay. All right. Are we at the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whenever you're ready, you can start.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it's showing what I'm seeing.
So the slide part is fine. So you can start.
Okay. Great. Okay. Okay. It is. All right. So my presentation is on sustainability and reusable containers for use on campus, specifically at SF State. And so the issue that we have is we still have single-use containers, and they are somewhat helping the problem, but they're not solving the problem. I'm sorry, let me just get back to this one. It's not showing for me. Okay, there we are. So when we have these compostable containers, they still have to be composted. If we have recycling, it needs to be recycled. And so that is part of the problem that we are facing. And it's not going to go away if we, oh dear. All right. This is not going the way I thought it would. All right, let's try this one more time. I'm going to reopen and get my PowerPoint back open.
Nara, maybe you can share the presentation since you have them.
I made one small change.
Yeah, can you just send me the file, or send me the link to your
one more time and see if this will work, because I'm wasting my time and I want to make sure.
I just stopped your clock, so.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So either you can send me your slide, or
I'm almost there. I think I've got.
Okay.
All right, let's try the last one. Okay, here we go. All right, is it all showing now?
Yeah, it's fine. You can go.
Okay, great. So I'm Ann Buick. I am an SF State Scholar in accounting, and I'm currently an intern, a pathways intern with the Department of Defense. So we all know it's a problem to have single-use items, even reusable items that can be recycled or problematic. And there's the other issue that we're coming to and from campus or to and from our homes, and it's not easy. It's not that people don't want to be sustainable, that they don't want to do the right thing. It's just really complicated. And that's where the challenge is. And that's where I feel we at San Francisco State in a closed small system can start small and then grow from there. And then you have the issue of, at least in my office where I work right now, we don't have a kitchen. And so I can't clean my cup if I get coffee in the morning, and I'm not going to take it in the bathroom to do that. And I have to carry it back and forth. So I have all this extra stuff. And if you're coming to campus, you're often not driving, you're taking public transportation. And then the final issue here is that, is it sanitary? You know, will the business, if you bring in something to a business, is it clean? And then if you get ill, is that an issue for a business? So as I mentioned, we already are talking about some of these issues: portability, the weight of metal ones, because if you go with plastic, that's an issue when it finally breaks down and needs to be recycled. Cleaning, again, if everyone in this Zoom, for example, had a reusable mug or cup and washed it by hand, that's not nearly as efficient as using machines in dishwashing that can recirculate and clean the water, high efficiency for electricity. The detergents aren't ones that are going to harm the environment. Waste, we've already gone into that. How many boba straws are out there? I mean, or just reusable cups from Starbucks, and they can't be recycled. We think things can be recycled, but I have a note here. It's less than 10% of what can be recycled actually gets recycled. And that means for each individual person in the United States, it's about 300 pounds a year. Then there's the cost. You want good containers, it costs money. Again, the washing, and you want it to be easy and convenient. So if I can come to campus, last Friday when I was working on this, and I went to the incubator for some assistance in the Vista room, I went and got something to eat afterwards. And I would have much rather had something in a container than have to go recycle some plastic afterwards for the sushi I ate. And then the food quality. You want your food to stay hot or cold and not get all mixed up in a container. So current solutions, we have reusables, right? They're good, but again, the sanitary, the carrying around, it's not always ideal. You have to spend money, wash them, tote them. Compostable, still waste. And I know SF State, I was looking at the goals for 2020. We're not meeting our goals. We didn't meet them in 2020. We didn't even make it halfway. We're doing pretty good on compost, but there's still all the other items that we're using. And with the cost savings, there was a note from the reviewers. How I approached this was, even if you are using compostable, the best items, there's still a cost to manufacture them, and the materials, and getting them from here, from a warehouse, or from the factory to the warehouse to the business. But if it's reusable, you get the one container, it's manufactured one time, and the cost is just washing it. And it's not, processing it repeatedly. And what I was thinking for the bigger picture is a deposit model, which, and I have some examples here for different generations. Video store, you pay a deposit, you don't return it, you now own the movie. Stitch Fix, you get the clothes in the mail, if you don't return them, you own them. And textbook rental, a lot of students can identify with that. If you rent a textbook, you don't return it, you now own it. And here, you can see it has to be easy for American culture. So there's a great German one. I have more information on it later, but it's very successful because that is a common behavior in German culture. Now, generationally, we're getting away from the deposit idea, but it's also not easy. Every time you buy a soda, I have this La Croix right here, 5 cents, but I have to get it back to get the 5 cents. I'm not doing that. There's machines in Oregon that can do that, and they're very successful. But again, it's behavior and infrastructure. It's not easy. And here's the similar model, Zipcar. We're familiar. You rent the car, we can all use it. It's more sustainable. There's a location where the vehicle is going to be for pickup and drop off. And the Recup and Reroll is the German model I mentioned. One of the issues, I have a friend in Germany who went there and checked it out. They're American and said they're made from polypropylene. So they're recyclable when they break down, but they're not sturdy. So they don't seal, if you drop it, it could break. it doesn't work for American on-the-go lives like we all have, especially for busy college students. So this is just some ideas I had, and I meant to take these numbers out. I'm not sure where I got these from. So that one should not have been in there. Okay, so customers, benefits, I don't have to carry anything with me. I can leave my house in the morning. I can go out in the community. Maybe I'll go to the DO Museum, and on the way I can get a reusable coffee mug and then return it. Go on a picnic with my friends. And then if it's in the community, I don't need to clean it. For campus, faculty, staff, same thing. We can come to campus, visitors, and then I'll use that during the day, drop it off. It's easy, it's on the go. I'm not having to tote around things. No one's leaving something funky in the break room that we all have to deal with. The barriers for customers, and I addressed that. There was a note in the review. These are things we see and experience as barriers that can be addressed by businesses. So maybe someone does not like Starbucks. They don't have to go there. They can go to their favorite coffee shop. And the quality of food and beverage, if I bring it, somewhere and my container is not so great, that's a way to address that. Businesses will have the benefit, less trash. They can say they're green. That's always important, because that is a business issue, because if you're wasting money and hurting the environment, that's a problem. You have barriers. You'll have to have the right amount of containers when you have them. And this is big picture. This would be starting small in SF State in a closed system right here with Sodexo and campus dining. And it would be the kind of starting to see how this works. What are the behaviors? Then it could move off campus and into the neighborhoods. But using SF State, and there's some real opportunities with the incubator and the cafe in the Vista room, and then moving forward from there, having support of the campus, because we want to meet those sustainability goals we did not meet in 2020. So
actually time's up, so you may need to get some questions and the feedback from the judges.
Okay, and this was my last slide.
Okay, so we will start with Michelle and Shital, Mike, and then Joy. Okay, Michelle, do you have any questions, feedback, comments?
Yes. Thank you, Anne, for your presentation. I wanted to ask a little bit more about the product of the company that you were describing. Are you, you talked about this German model. So I wanted to ask, are you thinking of doing something similar here in the US, but with a different material for the container? Do you have a prototype for the product? Can you talk a little bit more about, I guess, where you are in that aspect?
So I do have ideas on that. So one would be, I've done a little research on different companies and also asked people I know, and also items I use. And there's one company, Contigo, based in North Carolina, I believe. Their mugs seal, and they have been life-changing for me because they have a little lock. So you can put your coffee cup in and it will not leak all over your statistics book, which has happened to me once in my life. And it was a rental, so that was not great. But that is part of what I would do if I won this contest, is use that money to then do research and survey to find out what works best, because you want something that'll do cold beverages, because iced coffee, boba, things like that, hot beverages, and then containers that, they'll have to be drop tests, right? Or I'll have my food and I'll say, okay, like, how long did this stay warm? But I first was thinking just beverage, to start with that, because that's something that we take on the go a lot. And so that's where I was thinking first. And then the cost, you could hopefully buy in bulk, and then there'd have to be a way to put barcodes.
Great, thank you. Yeah, interesting. Maybe a piece to think about is, if there's already a beverage container out there like Contigo, maybe the product is the service that you're providing, or the drop-off locations and the processes around that, and you can partner with companies that already have the specific product.
Yes, instead of trying to create a container, which could be version 5.0 or something, when this is shown to work in a closed model, then, for example, the Department of Defense might want them to use in their dining facilities. And then they can put the Marine Corps, the Eagle and Anchor on there, the Globe Anchor, because they want that for their closed system. or in some area, I could think, oh, this is maybe healthy eating. You can make it mindful. So you could say, oh, like this portion should be vegetables, or this could be your meat or your protein and whatnot. But that's a far version. What I'm focusing on now is how can this work? Because we're running out of options for how we can be more sustainable. And if we start on SF State where students do care about this, and faculty and staff and visitors, then we can look at the issues and the challenges better.
Great, thank you.
Okay, now Shital.
Yeah, thanks for your presentation. I think you need to put in a little bit more thought on whether, to Michelle's point, is it going to be a service model or you're going to actually revamp the packaging, which can be extremely expensive. The other thing I think you should look into is actually how many people, we assume people care about recycling and students do, but I led a green team at an organization with 2,500 people, and I was shocked to know that only 11% actually, and those who filled out the survey actually cared about where it's going. So that would be just some research to do. And then initially to get started up, if you did get the project with SF State, can you walk me through quickly how do you envision that going forward from here?
I would then go to the second university level one, but first I would go talk to the campus stakeholders who I would want to partner with. So that'd be Sodexo, campus sustainability, the incubator, and see what the buy-in is, because I don't think this is going to be ever successful without campus buy-in and commitment. So I can go say, we didn't meet our goals. These are things that can be useful. This is my idea, and start there, because it's never going to be successful without the infrastructure and support of the campus.
And sorry, maybe I should have rephrased my question. Describe the process. So when you start partnering, are you looking at kiosks in place across the campus? Are you expecting students to go? Just walk me through the logistics.
So one example would be, there could be a person, say I could get a volunteer or an intern, but someone would receive money, and they would be the person who collects it and perhaps takes it to be washed or does the washing. So it depends on whether who provides the infrastructure on campus for that. So maybe they're taken in and then Sodexo washes them, or perhaps it could be another location that has cleaning facilities, maybe the incubator. It would depend on who buys in and commits. And so you go get your item, the clean item is there, you order, you take it with you, and then there's a drop off, whether that's at the location. It has to be easily accessible. So whether it's you go to the same location, a food one, or there'll be someone else nearby, eventually it would be kiosks, but that is a far off version.
And then how do you make money? How does the company make money?
Eventually, it would be off the items that are purchased. There would be a percentage, and then the food items, I should say, and then the containers themselves, you pay a deposit. And this was a note in there. What would the deposit be? Let's say $10 or $15. If people don't return them, they own them, right? But it's not going to be the exact cost. I would plan to get grant money to start as well to get containers. It's not going to make a profit right away. I'm aware of that. And the issue with recycling and sustainability is everyone's like, oh, it's got to make a profit right away. And if it's not making money, but there's going to be, I know this sounds a little touchy-feely, but there's going to be social profit, ecological profit for the environment, and say, this is how much we saved, and we have made these goals. Because that's where we're not right now on campus, is if we have these goals for SF State, the city, and CSU, some of that profit is going to be meeting those goals and then changing the model as it increases and moves out. Because it's not going to make money right away. I can say that.
Thanks, Anne.
Okay, so we have about like 2 minutes. So Mike and Joy, I want you to just give her some feedback or any comment. Yeah. Sure,
and thank you. This was interesting. I've never thought of a Tupperware subscription before, but that's kind of what you're describing. The core questions I had were around the logistics of it. I'll approach this from a feedback perspective. I think you're onto something in terms of in terms of closed systems. The military is very interesting because they have a lot of logistics, particularly kind of dealing with large bases. And at the end of the day, you might be better off thinking of this as a nonprofit or as some sort of like supplemental service, rather than as a business. I was trying to figure out, like, I would be interested in potentially a Tupperware subscription, but I'm just working through the machinery and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of cleaning by somebody. And I think you get into real challenges on making money on that side. But good presentation, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now Joy.
All right, people seem to have covered just about everything important about the content. So I'll focus on the presentation. Your graphic is interesting, but it's not really relevant to what you're doing. So if you could come up with graphics that enhance your message, I think that would be useful. And I would limit words. I mentioned earlier to another presenter, there are just too many words on your screens. And then people aren't looking at you, they're not listening to you, they're trying to read all those words. So if you can keep it to bullet points, there's a heuristic that says 7 plus or minus 2 is the max that people are going to pay attention to.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. So that was the time. I'm gonna share my screen again. Okay. Yeah. So at this point, I will open up a fan favorite poll to the audience here to vote for your favorite team pitch. And in the meantime, I'm going to send our judges to a separate breakout room to discuss today's presentation and decide the top 3 winners. And the judges will have about 12 minutes to deliberate over the winners. Okay, so top 3 winners, first, second, third. I will put you in a breakout room now. So Joy, Michelle, Chital, and Mike, please join the breakout room and discuss the top 3 winners. Okay, now I will open up a poll for the fan favorite poll. So please vote for your favorite pitch today. So we had Arctic, Bruit, Green Solutions, New Intern, and Sustainability on the Move. Okay, so please vote for your favorite team pitch. And while you are doing this and also waiting for the judges' decision, I'm going to introduce the innovation pitch competition and workshops. Okay, hopefully you can see it clear. So we are going to have an innovation pitch competition this April. And that applications will be open to all SFSU students, and all concepts and industries are welcome. So not limited to the sustainability theme. So every concept and industry is fine. And the individuals or teams, anyone can apply to this innovation pitch competition. So basically, all of the finalists today can apply to the innovation pitch competition as well. So, I mean, I highly encourage you to apply your pitch to the innovation pitch competition. And the prize monies. Of course, you will get great feedback during the review process and during the pitch competition, but also you can get some prize money to start your business. So the first place will get $5,000, second place $3,000, third place $2,000. So it's basically it's like 10 times of the prize money of today's pitch competition, right? And the application will be application will open in the beginning of March, and the closes on April 17th, 5 p.m. And you will get your notification whether you will go to pitch or not by April 24th, 5 p.m. And your pitch day will be on April 28th, 1:30 to 3 p.m. So actually this innovation pitch competition is a part of the INE Entrepreneurship Symposium. So you can see all the other sessions that day too. But yeah, so the pitch time will be between 1:30 to 3 p.m. And if you want to know more about that pitch competition, please scan this QR code to see further information. Yeah, it'll be via Zoom. So it's a Zoom pitch competition, but there will be some viewing party if you want to network with other people who are interested in innovation and the entrepreneurship. And the networking and workshop opportunities. So this coming February 23rd, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Vista Room, Berkeley, there will be Thirsty Thursday event. So that will be a networking event with the previous pitch winners and the entrepreneurs. So if you're interested in this networking event, please join. This is not Zoom event, so you have to go to Vista Room on that day. And the Pitch Deck 101 and how to present to investors are workshops for you to prepare for the pitch competition. So the Pitch Deck 101, Tell and Sell Your Idea will be prepared by Professor Sibyl Yang. That will be March 3rd, 1 p.m. to 2:30 via Zoom. And how to present to investors will be prepared by an angel investor. So that will be on April 7th, 2 to 3:30 via Zoom. And Sibyl Yang, Professor Sibyl Yang, has office hours every Fridays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Vista Room. So if you're interested in this office hour, please join her office hour. And again, this is the QR code to see all the events. So please scan it and see these events information. Any questions? Please let me know. And okay, so I think we need to wait for 5 more minutes for judges to come back to the main room. So I will just play some music for you, and our award presentation will be in 5 minutes, okay? And if you haven't voted for the favorite team for today's presentation, then please do so.
Hey, Nora.
Yep.
You might announce this later, but I just wanted to know, will the recording be posted somewhere or sent out later, or will you answer that later?
I'm thinking to post it on our webpage, the Innovation Entrepreneurship, yeah, the webpage.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Yeah, Vista Room is awesome. So if you need any help on your idea, please go to Vista Room and then you can get some help. from Professor Sibyl Yang. Coffee was hot. Yep. Yeah, pitch can be done as a group. So it could be individual, or it could be two or more people. So basically the presenter should be SFSU student, but the other people can join your team actually. So other school, like not SFSU students can actually be in that team, but the presenter should be the SFSU student. So you wanna have pitch together at the pitch competition? Yes, yeah, that's possible. So both of you are SFSU students, then yeah, you can do it together.
Is it just me, or were you not able to play music, or did you decide not to?
So basically it'll be here. So click this. So this is our web page, and you can see the previous workshop as well. And I'm gonna share the link here. So if you come to this web page, you can find all the programs that we are organizing: the incubator and the pitch contest, symposium, pitch competition, and the Thursday and workshop, and another workshop will be here later. Yeah. Of course. And you can send me an email at pitch@sfsu.edu if you have any questions. Yeah. So I'm gonna check whether judges are ready, and I'll be back in a minute. again, fan favorite poll is still open, so please vote for your favorite team's pitch. It takes longer for judges to make decisions. So we are waiting for more. Okay, we are going to finish our fan favorite poll, and the judges will be back soon. Okay, and poll. What? Okay, everyone's here. So our fan favorite poll winner is Brew It. Congratulations. So you're going to get $100 in addition to other award if you have gotten any award. And our third place winner is Brew It. So Brew It again. So you've got $100 from the fan favorite poll, and you've got $200 from the third place winner prize as a third place winner prize. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay. And the second place winner is new intern Sean. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And the first place winner is Green Solution. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, congratulations. So the second place team will get $300, and the first place winner will get $500. And also Green Solution will present at the innovation pitch competition as a finalist. So you have to prepare for your pitch for the innovation pitch competition. That will be on April, okay? And do you have any comment? I'm curious how you feel about this and your plan for the concept.
I'm very excited. This is wonderful news. I still have a lot of work to do. I still have a lot of research and development to do, but I'm really excited. Thank you so much for all your time and all your great feedbacks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I want to say I'm really proud of all the teams who pitched today and also applied to this event. And that there are so many ideas with potential. So I really appreciate it. And also, I really thank so much to our judges for giving great, the amazing feedback to our teams today. And the audience, thank you so much for attending and participating in the vote today, and hope to see you again in the innovation pitch competition soon in April, and also the next year's Lam Family College of Business pitch contest. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
guys.
Have a good rest of your day.